How would you respond next? Jay Z is in court and it's odd that 50 Cent is covering his legal expenses. Additionally, he paid him to be in his documentary about Diddy and Jay. Sweetheart, things are getting messy outside. And it looks like Jay Z and Beyonce will soon face consequences for all the misdeeds they committed years ago. On Twitter, Nicki Minaj recently attacked Jay. He even shared receipts showing that he owed her over $200 million and collaborated with a number of industry individuals, officials to try to ruin her career. Before we could comprehend what the hell that was about or how he came to owe her so much money in the first place, his son, whom he has since denied, came out once more. He has concrete evidence that Jay is indeed his father this time. Father, you are. This has been a point of contention between Jay Z and the estranged son, Rymer Satterthwaite, since 2010. According to him, Jay knocked his mother, Wanda, unconscious when she was just 16. Rymer and Jay started this court battle when Wanda was still living, but she passed away in 2019. Before she died, she gave the Daily Mail a notarized document in which she explained how she and Jay first met and how, according to reports, he had slept with her nude during a one-night stand. She stated that after multiple failed attempts to convince Jay to claim Ryer, she was forced to name her ex-boyfriend, Robert Graves, as Ryer's father on his birth certificate. This is the deal, though. Her lover was tricked into thinking Rymer was his knocking hood, but in reality, he was someone else's kid. Before his mother died, Rye had already begun to pursue Jay, as I mentioned earlier, but he changed into more determined following her death. It is widely assumed that Jay's desire to conceal his affair with a 16-year-old child is the reason behind his refusal to submit to a paternity test and his game of hide-and-seek with Rye. According to Rye's godmother, Lily Colley, Jay actually responded positively when Wanda first approached him about Rye. Even Ryer's musical prowess and whether it would be appropriate to sign him to his record label at that time were topics of discussion. When other lawyers got engaged, though, their viewpoints suddenly changed. They realized Sean was more vulnerable, in my opinion, because Wanda was allegedly youthful. The many mistakes, omissions, and collusions between Sean's and our lawyers since then have made it necessary for us to fight back, and we will not give up. In a heated interview, Rymer accused Jay Z of paying lawyers and judges to put this lawsuit on hold so it would never be heard. Even worse, he accused his own lawyers, whom he pays himself, of being bought off by Jay to weaken the case.
That's going on still in our court system. I'm just trying to keep the world really aware because this is something that's going on continuously on a daily basis with maybe many different people. So as I said, I was in a major court. Me, my mom, my godmom, we've been in court for many years, and it's just been crazy. As I said before, it's been crazy. We've been going in there. I don't feel like we've been getting our rights really appreciated. So important to deal with because all the fraud on the court, if we just let that, just pass and not say anything about it, they would continue to do anything they want. This is not just with us, it's with people in the world. Like a lot of fraud and a lot of collusion that's just been going on and just been looked over is never supposed to happen. And I will not let that pass. I'm not letting the lawyers get away with that. They will not go in the courtroom of justice and just lie like that and continue to get praised off it or, use this lie to benefit off all these years. Like we've been going to court, putting our hard-earned money out there, and we going in there to fight fraud. That's just that's craziness. That's really craziness, and I don't think nobody in the world should have to go through that. You going in there, you paying your hard-earned money. You got these lawyers that just frauding and putting anything they want basically in the courtroom, and the judges is just allowing this to go on. I honestly believe that both of them should be hold it responsible for this, because you guys, this is you guys' job, and if the judge can't see this or overlook it, I can understand a mistake, but just throughout the years, to continue to overlook fraud is just craziness to me. Like, come on, it's right there in your face. If you can't see that, then I don't know what else we can do to help you guys believe that it's something crazy going on with this case. Like honestly, I just want everybody in the world just to keep their eyes open and just watch things that happen, that this like how things unfold, because it's crazy. It really is crazy. These judges, these lawyers, this fraud, this collusion. Who knows what it's for? Money or friendships or whatever they got going on. But I can honestly say that we should never go in the courtroom feeling like we're already the victims and we did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong but come in here, tell you guys the truth, put our life on the line, come to every court case and give you 100% plus of us. And basically we just got stepped on, and basically, just try to get dragged through the system. But no, we won't let that go. That's not us. We're not we're not letting this go, and we will continue to fight, like, especially for fraud and collusion that's been going on. No, I will not let nobody just put that on my name, my mother's name, my godmother's name. We will fight for what is right, like we've been doing all these years.
Liz Crokin interviewed Rye and his godmother, Lily, about their opinions.
I think that it seemed that Jay Z, via his people, were willing to work something out behind the scenes, and then all of a sudden that stopped. Why? Why do you think that he is refusing to take a paternity test and stopped, working with you all behind the scenes? What was driving that, in your opinion?
Well, part of it was a rumor that was told that he didn't like the fact that this particular case was in the public, and he had a problem with Ramir putting it in the public, which was not Ramir, was his mother. So basically, in a nutshell, I just believe that was a big part of it. He didn't like the fact that it was in public. There was a time that Mr. Carter was trying to resolve the matter in the very beginning, and he was doing it in the best interest of Ramir. And then somewhere he left his heart and started thinking with his head.
Do you think part of it is because Wanda was 16?
Yeah, well, definitely that's the big part of it. The allegations that we have, the affidavit says that Wanda was 16 and he was 22. That's in Wanda's own words.
Right.
So therefore, that would be something that would make some people uncomfortable.
Right. Well, it's a crime. But for the record, you did tell me that Wanda told you that she did tell Jay Z that she was of legal age. Is that true?
Right. She did tell me that she told him she was 18 or something, whatever she told him.
And their lives have been in jeopardy ever since they started chasing Jay, Lily revealed, and she even claimed that she and Rye have been being followed around. She even mentioned that Ramir's home had previously been broken into and that the trespassers had threatened to harm him again if he didn't cease the investigation. Ramir had to call the cops for help several times because things got so bad. Jay is paid by the federal government, of course. As a result, those reports were promptly thrown away.
Yep.
We had to go to the police about several things. There's people, like you said, came onto the property. Someone knocked on Ramir's window. They wanted Ramir to drop the case. This was early on. There's been a lot of what they call intimidation.
I know everyone. Take this. Because Jay refused to do so, Ramir said he tried to finish a DNA test online by tracing his ancestors back to Jay's. The outcomes were conveniently fabricated, and he never even received it. It seems that Letitia Messer, Jay's second arranged daughter, used the same strategy to persuade him to claim her after he repeatedly tried to convince him to undergo a DNA test. She was allegedly paid off, and after learning her results, signed a non-disclosure agreement NDA to refrain from talking about it.
But we use Ancestry.com, and that's basically say they didn't give me my paperwork back. Like, I did the swab and spit in it and then get sent it to them. And when I called to try to get my information, basically it was an error, and I never heard of that.
There was an error? They wouldn't give you your paperwork?
Yeah, they won't give me my paperwork from Ancestry.com. Now you have people saying use 23andMe. And I just want people to know, like, the courts got my DNA. So if they wanted to test my DNA, for me just to keep spending all this money, these guys can test this, Jay Z and them, and it's the judges. They have everything they need. So obviously I'm not out of the fight, and I won't stop. It's not just about no Jay Z. I'm not just chasing Jay Z. That's not what it's about. My mom passed away fighting this case until she was gone. So that's more important to me than anything.
When Jay Z recently tried to have the case dismissed from court, it resurfaced. The judge, however, took the evidence into consideration and denied his motion. A second motion was later filed by him, this time alleging that the entire situation amounted to 10 years of harassment. He contends that multiple courts have already addressed and rejected the bogus allegations and assertions, and that a contempt order has already resulted from consistently rejecting those decisions. As all of this was taking place, 50 Cent, who had spent years trying to keep Ryer quiet, finally stepped in and made fun of Jay Z for failing to settle this conflict. Rhyme was reportedly recently added by 50 Cent to his planned documentary on Diddy and Jay, which only makes matters worse. In order to extend his case against Jay as long as required, he is therefore paying Ryer's court expenses. Considering that 50 has been doing this for a while, especially following Diddy's arrest, people weren't shocked. He posted a picture of Jay's face on a milk jug with the message, "Has anyone seen Jay? Hee hee." The man's not picking up his phone, Puff complained. Here is Jay Z, he wrote with another photo of Jay. Greeting Puffy Jetlog with a wave was the last scene recounted. In the caption, 50 stated, "Jay in hibernation." He posted this really negative photo of Jay Z. "No lunch or dinner, and no brunch. I will wait till this is all done before I walk outdoors." Fascinating. You got him outside, and I'm all, 50 expressed his opinion regarding the matter by writing, "Jay Z's trending because the judge has granted Rymer's request to move forward with his case." Beside a picture of Rymer and Diddy, the judge has also given Jay Z till July 18th to respond to Rye's paternity investigation. Jay-Z, that 50 got himself entangled in this, however, makes everyone happy. Beyonce, given that this issue is still open, she appears to be quite irate, and 50 is working to raise awareness of it through his documentary. According to Lily, Ryer's godmother, Jay has not yet claimed Rye because of Beyonce. She stated that Beyonce was quite uncomfortable with Jay's urge to claim Ryer and convinced him to keep everything a secret.
You have told me that you believe that Beyonce may have been one of the reasons why there wasn't a resolution.
I do believe that. Like in the very beginning, they didn't have a daughter, and there was seemed like we were understanding there was complications in getting conceived, etc.
Right.
And I felt like that would make some women, and it seemed like with her, she would fit that bill, uncomfortable about him having a fully grown son with a talent.
Right.
So I do believe that she had a problem. If it was true, she would have a problem with the fact that Ryer was in the picture or coming in the picture, because that was a vulnerable time.
Right.
But clearly now, 10 years later, 12 years later, you would think somebody would say, hey, let's just get this out of the way.
The DNA tests need to be done inside the courtroom in front of Rye, Jay Z, lawyers, and the judge, with the results tested right in the courtroom, said one such individual. The veracity of any of this is now in doubt. As a mother and wife, I would think that Ms. Bay would want the truth to settle this issue, said another. What kind of woman doesn't want her husband to take responsibility to all his children like a parent? It was not the young man's choice to be born here. Take the test, Jay, and stop putting things off. But now, I want to know what you think. Your opinions on Beyonce's alleged efforts to conceal all of this. And do you think that 50 should have included this in his documentary? In the comments section below, let me know your thoughts.